yo. What up? What up? Good morning. Good morning. GM. Monday. Oh, baby. Gonna be a tough week. Gonna be a big week. Gonna be a big week. Monday, December 13th, 2025. Look at that. Another beautiful day to have a beautiful day. I still wish it was 2024. I missed the 2025. It doesn't have the same ring to it. Anyways, a beautiful day to have a beautiful day. I got my co-host in the house, Tyler. Mando. Wow, Mando, look at that. Is that Lake Louise? Where are you at? Did you just buy a lake? Is that why we're dumping?
No, I don't know what happened. My camera seems to be like getting rid of my face occasionally, so I thought a less yellow background would do better, but it still seems to be going into my face, my cheeks.
Yeah, you look a little sick.
I'm in London. I'm in London this week, so no sunlight.
Ooh, just watch out. Okay, London, is a no-go zone. The entire city. Just be careful. Watch your six. Don't wear any expensive jewelry, expensive shoes. Don't have a phone in your hand. Make sure you swap back to the iPhone 12, just in case. Something as little as an iPhone 15 is no longer safe. And just beware. If you're pushing your kid in a stroller, just make sure the stroller is cheap as well. Just the basic safety 101 nowadays in the United Kingdom. Tyler, you can't be strapped over there, right? You need a machete. Oh, also bring a machete. Tyler, good morning. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm with you. These winter weekends when it's just cold and gray, they're long days. And then every morning I'm waking up and my coins are down another 10%. So I'd love to wake up with my coins actually up again. It feels like it's been too long.
Yeah, I don't even know what my coins are. I haven't looked at Dex Screener this morning. I just read all the messages and all the chats, and I assumed that Europors dumped it all on our heads when we overnight. I think this is why Mando's in Europe. Oh, this is the biggest psyop ever.
Rallying the troops over here.
You're rallying the troops at night in the West on the show in the morning. Yeah, buy my go. That's token AI. All these things, and then
I love how you keep on trying to attack me like I was the one who made you buy all these AI bags.
No.
You don't even own the coin that I was buying, and then yet in every video you're like, Mando made me do it. I've messaged you. I'm the one friend who's messaged you over the last few weeks, being like, "Yo, dude, like, you're like max risk.
You're a great friend, Mando. You are literally one of the best friends in my life. I just love giving you a hard time about GOAT because it's funny. It's the funniest thing ever."
Brother, Wintermute came for me.
We're gonna have to hold that thought. I want to talk about it because I saw Thread Guy's tweet and I had a market maker text me, a friend of mine, say, "Yo, can Thread Guy have me on the stream? I want to talk about this." so hold that thought because I want to talk about this in the show today. That was funny. And yes, Mando is a great friend. Mando is the kind of friend that'll text me when things are down, saying, "Farouk, are you okay? I know you're max risk." I'm like, "Mando, I'm fine. I'm okay."
I'm okay. And then it drops another 20%.
You know the girl gift dancing, like the renegade. She's just like crying. That's just me. This is me every morning. Anyway, it's another show. Sorry. Jesus. Today on the show. Speaking of being cold outside, Tyler, do you also go through that where you have to put the heat on and off because it's so cold inside and it gets really dry inside your apartment?
Yes.
I go through that all winter long because it's like negative 20 outside and then the cold comes through the windows. So you have to heat it up, but it's so bad for you. So I have like my insides are a little dry. However bad that sounds, I don't know. Today on the show. Okay. Today on the show, today, market report. We definitely have to go through a market before Mando takes off. Let's see what's going on with our favorite coins. Tyler's top 100 and weekend recap. A lot of stuff seems to have happened over the weekend. A lot of stuff seems to have not happened over the weekend, hence why all our coins are down a lot. And then last but not least, no Robit spin. That's tomorrow all the way through Friday. But make sure you're retweeting the show, showing some love, all that good stuff. And this show is powered by Galaxis. Galaxis is a Web3 platform empowering creators and brands to build unstoppable communities with full ownership and independence, trusted by icons like Donald Trump, Steve Aoki, Mike Tyson, and the NBA, shaping together the future of engagement and fair side network. Every day we see people's wallets get drained Yeah, that sucks. Fairsight is about to launch the fair alternative to insurance for crypto scams. Check out Fairsight Network on X. If you get drained, you won't get wrecked, man.
Who is the man, macro daddy of the land? Can you dig it?
Yeah. Well, one of those
Yeah.
days. Look, I think you have to put this into a wider perspective here. Because I think a lot of it, you will be looking at your sub 10 million AI shitcoin and being like, oh my God, like this was the top. I bought the wrong stuff. This has been a very macro sell-off. So over the last 2 weeks, Nvidia is down 15 to 20%. The NASDAQ is down double digits. The dollar's at a 2-year high. You've had a sell-off in a range of different EM style currencies. This is the bond yields are keep on pushing higher. All this macro stuff that we have been saying, look, suddenly everyone cares about macro. This has become quite a big deal. Like that's come to the forefront. So, and that's happened again today. Tech stocks opened down lower. Bitcoin dumped. Everything dumped. Everyone freaked out. At the same time, a lot of the left curve stuff is getting smoked too. So if you were playing for the Bitcoin to 200K, all my bags are going to go higher. Yeah, you've been smoked too. I thought Bitcoin dominance, as I've said for a while, or at least for the last couple of weeks, would actually come down in this world because macro was less strong. Bitcoin dominance has gone higher. Bitcoin dominance has gone back up to 59%-ish. It's still seen as like, yeah, this macro sell-off has affected more of the left curve stuff, even more than Bitcoin. Bitcoin right now is comfortably back above 92K. It has again hit that level of resistance and bounced back, which is a good sign for the market. But yeah, left curve stuff is it's currently bouncing back, but yeah, not.
It's
not
always
finished.
like that, right? We just always takes it's a lagged bounce back, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I think you have to put that into perspective of this isn't, which is in some ways is more worrying, in that like this is something where the whole market is being repriced to what's going on in macro right now, which is essentially, and to put that into a nutshell, is inflation is looking slightly worse than expected, as in it cost of living may stay higher for longer, and that the Fed may keep interest rates higher for longer. In fact, markets are currently now pricing that they will not do another interest rate cut this year. And that is a big departure from what we saw from basically from September, October time, which is kind of coincides when the election was too. There's a lot of talk about like Trump potentially could lead to more inflation, but that coming back is basically a rerun of the narrative that we had in 2022, if you remember back then, which is inflation, higher rates, people less risk taking. This is bad for markets. In the end, like stocks went higher during that whole period. Crypto bounced back. Higher rates don't necessarily mean markets nuke. As we saw over the last few years, we've had high rates. But I think that departure and that kind of 180 in people's thinking of we're heading towards a banana zone of liquidity to now the Fed may not cut rates for a year. And we're starting to see some stresses in like other countries from these high rates. Like the UK right now is looking pretty precarious. China, Japan, all looking slightly precarious. It's just quite a lot of uncertainty around that. So this is a world where the majors have sold off alongside broader macro markets, and that's taken down a lot of stuff as well. Now, if you go down into the into like where people have been degenning, memes haven't had a great period, although their mind share is now starting to creep up again, because the real death has happened in kind of the AI stuff. We're back to where we were. To be clear, we were back to where we were about 2.5 weeks ago. So we are back to where this figure is back to around just shy of 12 billion. And most of these coins are down 30 to 40% on the week. This peaked at around 17 to 18 billion about a week ago. So just a pretty dangerous repricement. And I think the main thing that's happened is a lot of the utility stuff has been damaged. Fartcoins actually held up better, I would say, but a lot of the hopes and dreams stuff, let's say, has been badly hurt. And a lot of that is macro, like I just said, like Nvidia being down that amount is quite a big deal. And a lot of that is micro as well. So there's been, number one, there's been controversies around stuff that AI16Z, which was the leader in the Solana ecosystem, has been doing and saying. A lot of that's to do with, remember we had the controversy over Fatcoin. Then Shore made comments around Zerobro, which have come to light. There has now been controversy around this AIC. We also all got allocation to, but wider controversy about that and the fact that Shore sold, and just general. I think that project has taken a lot of taken a wide beating. In the same way that if WIF is down 50%, it's tough for the rest of the Solana meme coin market to rally. AI16Z was a high proportion of the Solana meme coin market, particularly the utility bit of that, like excluding Fartcoin, because I would say largely Fartcoin is its own thing. People who own it, I think only a small slice of them are really owning the AI angle to that coin.
Whoa, look at this, man. Jesus.
Right. So yeah, so it's pretty nasty, kind of across the board for a lot of this sort of stuff. Yeah. I would also see that
someone's trying to get into your hotel room.
I don't know who that is.
Room service.
Yeah, be careful.
Yeah, but you gotta be careful, dude.
Yeah, who the fuck's that? They
really want to speak to you.
1 second.
They really want to speak to you. They really want to talk to the guy. I mean, Tyler, what do you make of what he's saying? How are your backs going this morning, Tyler?
Oh God,
I haven't looked yet. I'm not looking.
I did rip the Band-Aid off and checked my Phantom balance, and then opened the door to my balcony, but I closed it. Back. Luckily, we've had a huge reversal on Fartcoin. So I checked Fartcoin this morning; it was 690.
Nice.
So it's up 200 million off the bottom at least. So we've got a little bit of a fart bounce.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, so are we counting this as 92K holding up? Like basically, like it could, like it was a liquidation wick.
So I was going to ask that, yeah. So like that famous, like, everybody's been talking about sweeping the lows in the high 80s, Mando. It looks like it was swept this morning. I mean, I missed that. I must have been sleeping. It's like 89K tapped here. What do you think?
89K.
A lot of people kept saying 88K was that low sweep. Look, I'm not a trader. I don't know. I'm just saying this is the most common thing I read on the timeline last few weeks.
88K, I think, was tapped, yeah, or 89K. So, yeah, I don't really know. Like,
Stu always talks about this too, hitting that 88K is just driving him insane, and he actually is a pretty good trader, but
maybe that's all we needed, really, for it to touch that level and then rebound.
I like that D-Farmer. I like when D-Farmer comes back with the Braveheart gif. You know that one, Tyler.
Yeah, he's a good bull.
I always answer. I don't know. I always like that one because he always, like, when he's sweeping lows, he's always posting that gif of Mel Gibson and Braveheart. So it's like a lot of people were talking about. So here's a consensus was 88K Bitcoin needs to be swept. I think it was sub 180 Solana and sub 3K ETH, and it looks like everything went there. Solana went to 169. Whoa.
Yeah, quite a sweep.
And then ETH went to 2,900, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. So there's that. For the majors. I guess we'll see. There's CPI this week. I saw Ovi make his tweets about all the CPI shit, man, though. I'm assuming that we're in a macro market again, so we'll be praying for that.
We have CPI and we have PPI this week, so it's quite a big market, but it does feel like it's a macro market again, for sure.
Yeah. we get a breakdown here for us. CPI on Wednesday. Ideally, we want the inflation number to come in below 2.8% in order to see market relief rally. I have no idea what any of this means, by the way. But I don't know. Yeah, give me your best knock jokes, everyone. Yeah, that great time for knock joke. There you go. Who was it, Manda? Was it room service, cleaning service?
No, something completely different.
Oh my god, that is so funny. What? That's hilarious. Okay. Anyways, well, let's go to Tyler's top 100 then. Let's
For daily NFT and crypto analysis. Tyler T on FOMO hour cause the kid paying this.
Yeah, Mando led there, but folks, crypto majors fell hard overnight, down 4 to 6%. Bitcoin lost 92K. It went into the 89, 88K range, but V-shaping back up. We're back to 93K. So a nice rebound there. Most alts were down about 6 to 10% this morning when I ran the numbers. The AI sector down a full 20%. So hit the hardest. In macro headlines from the past few days, there is a new Consumer Finance Protection Bureau CFPB rule that would make wallet makers like Consensus liable for customer losses or erroneous transactions tied to the users using their wallets. So the Biden administration kind of going out swinging in their last week here. Senator Loomis is set to lead a Senate subcommittee on digital assets. She's one of the most pro-crypto politicians in the U.S. North Dakota and New Hampshire have both drafted legislation for their own strategic Bitcoin reserves. So more and more states are looking at the Bitcoin reserves, even if we have some hesitations at the national level. And then more companies too. Heritage Distilling becoming the latest company to adopt Bitcoin for their company. In token airdrop and protocol news, the current protocol announced an airdrop for users of multiple protocols across Solana like Jupiter, Solana, Drift, and Jito, as well as top meme coin holders like Pingu, Bonk, AI16Z, Fartcoin, and more. So a big community airdrop there. Abstract announced its Abstract Syndicate powered by Echo, where select abstract builders will have access to showcase their apps to qualified investors. And then the Quai network is now allowing any Kaido user with 20 smart followers to claim tokens on testnet. So another potential airdrop coming there. We'll get into another big airdrop here in a minute. Before we get there, AI and crypto, the overall market cap at one point fell 20% to 10.9 billion. It's now back up to 11.5. Most leaders still down about 10% on the day. Really no top movers. We are starting to see a little bit of green on the board right now. Fartcoin is actually leading the way. Hey Anon is doing quite well, as well as CGPT, that last token to get listed. In other news, this DeFi, DEFAI, is close to flipping DeFi, the traditional DeFi, in mindshare. Clearly the hottest new subsector of AI. So we're going to have to dig into that. New token Holo from HoloZone is aiming to create a framework for the most advanced AI agents. They execute a 24/7 showcase on X Spaces, which featured Andrew Tate arguing with the Holo World AI version of himself. Which put them on the map. They ran to 35 million in their debut. They did follow that overnight. We've got Shaw teasing AI16Z V2 coming later this week. AICCC, the Accelerate DAO that did debut late Friday evening, folks. It soared to $300 million and higher in the first hour. Settled in the 100 to 150 million range over the weekend. It was 77 million down this morning. Another DAO, Hardwire DAO, announced its plans to launch as they look to decentralize AI innovation via community-owned compute power. So that's the next DAO to watch. Then several updates across Bully, ABB, Story, Zerobro, Virtuals. We could perhaps get into those here in a minute. There's a laundry list of updates. In the meme coin and NFT sector, meme coin majors down about 5 to 10%. Not a huge surprise with the majors down. Concho was a meme coin runner of the night, jumped 1,300% to 20 million. Moonpay announced a sponsorship of Unicorn Fart Dust UFD founder Ron, which led to UFD soaring 80% to 230 million over the weekend. In NFT news, most NFTs are down except for Azuki, and that is because the anime tokenomics were released last night, featuring 15.5% of the tokens going to the community, 75% plus unlocked at the open, and then several communities getting allocations, including Kaido and Hype Stakers. Leading to speculation that those two groups perhaps might be rewarded more in 2025. And that's our rundown.
All right. Well, that is quite a rundown. There's actually quite a lot going on in these streets. I'm going to start with the DeFi thing because I actually wrote about it this weekend. I'm a little confused about the definition of DeFi, FAI. And if I am, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people I wouldn't be surprised if some people are as well. One side of me thinks that we're just throwing words out there in order to pump bags. Let's be honest. DeFi, like, okay, that's part of the DeFi thing. If we're looking at a mindshare map, I'm gonna pull up the post I did this weekend. Why is DeFi being separated from AI? Shouldn't it be that when you look into AI, that's from this weekend, like, it's separated? Isn't DeFi into AI? And then if you go into the AI, now let's say you were to click on AI, there is different pockets, utilities, like utility, like, the vibes, like Ava, all the stuff, like
infra, yeah.
It's okay, you're right. So forget utility, because not really utility plays in DeFi. Let's call it infra, memes, and something else. So what is DeFi, and how does one qualify as in a DeFi coin?
I can give my thoughts. I think of DeFi as agents that actually do things like trades, like Onchain. So these are not your chatbot agents. These aren't launch pads for chatbot agents. These are AI agents that are being set up to transact for you on chain, which I think it is the actual direction that most folks who are bullish on the intersection of AI and crypto, like this is the end game, right? It's agents actually operating on chain. I share, this is the list from CoinGecko. I don't think this is comprehensive. I actually wouldn't have put Graphane necessarily on this.
There's one on CoinMarketCap too now, by the way.
Graphane does a lot. I thought Graphane more is like the Chat GPT for.
But see, that's what's confusing. I find this term. Like, what is DeFi? Like, is it utility? Like, what's up, Mando? How do you see?
They're all trying to do DeFi. Like AI16Z has been trying to do that too. I think that Zerobro is trying to do that. I do think that I think it's interesting that they're trying to make a subset here. I think they're trying to make a subset to pump their own bags, but largely, if you've been paying attention to the current AI sector, AI agent sector, then the vast majority of them have some sort of idea of making bots that will make you money. Like Graphane, AI16Z, Zerobro. I'm trying to think which other ones are trying to make you money right now.
There's a full laundry list.
Yeah,
right?
like they're all doing that. So
I think to separate them from the new AI, like
I think most, honestly, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It feels like the whole sector is going to go that way. I agree that it's still, from a trading perspective, like you want to look at these lists because this sector is hot.
Yeah.
Looking at the top coins on this list. And I think that's why we're seeing some of them like Anon and Orbit in its Griff token saw like huge weeks because they're being seen as the leaders. Though I think Mando is absolutely right that like you can't separate what AI16Z, ARC, all these other infra providers. Like they're going to provide infra for agents who trade as well. Right. So it's not necessarily its own thing. No one thinks that chatbots and reply guys is like the future of.
Yeah, exactly.
AI.
Like they're all trying to do that. So
yeah, okay.
I think that's kind of it's probably to spin up a narrative, like we've done something naturally. But if you speak to most of these, they're all trying to do that. Even AI XBT, right, could very easily move into this, and would that suddenly be a DeFi?
That's why I'm confused. Also, there's another one. It's like some people are like trying to like also call it AI fight. Like there's a fight of the terms even.
Yeah, I think the bankless guys wanted AI fi to be the main one.
Oh, then it's definitely DeFi then.
Yeah, exactly.
But especially after this week. But just kidding. Of
also
course.
because we don't know how to pronounce it. Like, how do you pronounce?
Well, how do you pronounce DeFi? No, I'm not talking about DeFi. I'm talking about DeFi. I do agree. AI fi probably makes more sense, by the way, because of that. Right? But I don't know. To me, it's just AI. AI is AI. And I don't know, guys. Should I sell all my memes to the bottom and rotate to utility? I almost lost all my gains. You and me both, Maz. You and me both. Just hang tight. Hang tight. All right. I don't know if you're a man or a woman, but just put your nuts on the table either way. Just leave them on if they're there. It is not the time.
I think the big thing happening, I'm curious for Mando's thoughts on this. So clearly, like all the leaders in AI are down 30 to 50% on the week. Like there's no hiding of that. I think that the big question is that because of the macro pullback, Or are we seeing a shuffling of the leaders because the early leaders aren't necessarily going to be the cycle leaders? And I think that is the biggest concern across this sector now. And while you've seen the leaders like Virtual and AI16Z and AIXBT dropping, you've seen a lot of the coins in the mid tier start to pump, right? So like Anon is up quite a bit on the week. Like ARK had a big run, it's down now. This Pippin token came out of nowhere, and now it's over 200 million. Ava from the Hollow team is now over 200 million. And I think there's a growing narrative, and this is also from folks who are incentivized to pump their own bags, but they're trying to say like their bags are going to be the new leaders, right?
Yeah.
And it's also new that we don't really have a good answer. But yeah, curious your thoughts.
I've said that since the start, right? This is one of the reasons why I find it so. I knew this sector would be so difficult, and I've said it so many times even on the show. I think the attrition rate is going to be unbelievable because you can build. It's open source AGI, right? That's what everyone's talking about, or trying to build open source models. It's so easy to build on what somebody else has just built and try and build something better, right? Like, so the idea that you're going to be ahead for a long time is very difficult to underwrite. AI16Z, I really feel like it's very far. It'd be very difficult to catch up with them with what they've done with Eliza, right? That being said, like there's been a lot of fumbling of that bag, or fumbling of that funding of that head start, and that's been, I think, been one of the main worries. Now, do I think that this Hey Anon thing is like some incredible thing? People have said, oh, they're building a new framework that can be the new AI16Z. I think we'll probably do this run again in a couple of months. Like, the person who created Hey Anon, to be clear, is Daniel Sester, who is behind Time Wonderland, one of the most infamous rug scam things that everyone lost all their money on. Like, I'm not sitting here going like he's like the best thing that ever happened to. He's done, but like, I think there's, we've seen king making in this space, and I think you have to appreciate that there'll probably be villain arcs for all these people as well. And if you're going down the utility route, know that there's no bag. There is no bag in crypto meets AI which you can underwrite and say, I'm gonna hold this for a year. No, there's nothing. Like, if you go down that route, even virtuals, right, which I think a lot of people thought had this unbelievable, it had a head start, and it did really well with that. It went up to 4.5 billion. Now it's like 2.5, and all I see is the timeline complaining about how like the functionality of the bots isn't good enough, and AXBT has actually got its own proprietary thing, and like, just be very, very aware that like maybe take your gains in the utility stuff and maybe don't believe they're all going to go to like, or just be prepared that next week there's going to be something that they will attack you on, right? That's why in some ways I liked Farcoin, but then that hasn't worked out really out that amazing. Well, Farcoin's worked out, but it hasn't worked out that amazing either for the meme. So it's an incredibly difficult space to underwrite stuff for a long time.
So I think playing that out, I think there's two schools of thought. So like you've got folks like Ovi coming out and giving his like top 5 plays, and he thinks his port can 5x, and he's basically betting on the leaders, right? He bet on like Virtuals, AI16Z. I think ARK was on his list. I didn't memorize his list. So there's still a school of thought that you can bet on the leaders and 5 to 10x if this whole space goes to 100 billion. And there's another school of thought is like, should you sell anything that runs to 300 to 500 million because of the attrition rate and just, try to continue to play downstream? And I don't know if either one is right. One perhaps might be a little safer. Maybe you don't have the outsized gains. I think the next couple of weeks will be telling. I think if Virtuals and AI16Z actually turn over and get flipped, it's going to be very hard to hold any of the winners very long.
I mean, you have to believe in the ability for that to happen pretty easily, right? Zerobro went from 850 million to 240. It's done 12 straight red candles. Like, just because people thought new models could come in, it can happen to the mid tiers. It can happen to the strong tiers. I don't know necessarily if it goes to 300 million, you're meant to sell it, because the ones that go to 300 million can also be the leaders. They go to $1 billion, $1.5 billion, but it's just, like the attrition can be really, really hard. I can't tell you in a year's time if any of these coins will be the leader. I can probably tell you that Goat and Farcoin will still be around, but I can't tell you about the others. I really can't. I think for AI16Z to fuck this up, it would shock me because of how well and how established they are, but they seem to have fumbled the comms/vibes bag pretty hard here. So who knows?
I think the other thing that's playing out. Sorry, Frog.
No, go ahead.
All of these major teams are still rolling out their updates. So like I skipped over some because there's just so many, but like Shaw's tweeting like AI16Z V2 with their tokenomics is set to come out this week. Zerobro released an overview of their entire ecosystem. And Zerobro, sorry.
Yo, chill. You didn't mean to, but it's so funny.
Tokens down, but they're releasing their plans for their agent frameworks. Like all of these teams are still like actively producing, and we know how important attention is in this market. So like all of them could also just very well be it's like one positive update away from just reflecting up.
I think I don't have any money to keep bidding, but I would love to take a punt. A fucking because I'm a gambler though. Like I'm a degenerate gambler, but I would love to punt this. But this takes serious cojones because the Zerobro like 12 was it? We're 12 days into red candles now.
I mean, it's due a bounce. I think everyone you can't look at that and not say, hey, it's due a bounce. But number one, that
11.
was a vibe. That was more of a vibes coin than I think any of the others because it was a culture based coin, right?
But
Zerobro,
became infra.
Yeah, but it was a culture coin. Like that was producing.
I know,
it produced a rap album the other day. I don't know if you like
I love that part though. That I always said that. My favorite thing Zerobro has done is the rap album.
LA Vape Cabal / Basic CZ / Ansem were like, yeah, no, the market's done. At the same time, it got a Binance perp listing. Yeah, this is. When do you think the Frank LA Vape Cabal tweet was?
The problem with Zerobro is that Pippin has a stronger founder and is also building a Python-based framework. So the Pippin founder from Baby is like tied to Baby AGI, which I understand is more established. So now they've got a direct competitor as well.
I feel like Arc and Pippin are bigger competitors. I think Zerobro was always about like the vibes of that project, right? And it had everyone behind it being like, hey, they can build a fashion line, they can make a music studio, all this sort of stuff. Like, and that largely requires on KOLs to continue to be like, this is the best thing I've ever seen. And it just felt as though that was stopping to happen, and that's where it is. Like, I wouldn't be buying Zerobro necessarily for the infra because it has a closed model. So it needs to be incredible that for that to work, in my opinion.
It's hard for like the KOL, like the AI KOL model to really work. Like AI XBT has pulled it off. I think it's gonna be very hard. I actually think AI XBT has a huge moat in that space right now. I think it's going to be very hard for another one to catch it.
Weirdly, AI XBT coming out of this, I know it's obviously down 40-50% now, but it looks maybe stronger than the others in terms of its moat. Just because it's maintaining its level of mind share. Right, I gotta run, boys. Great chat.
See you, brother. See you. Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see where this all takes us. Let's talk about the Wintermute stuff tomorrow because I want to go into it with Mando, but damn, they're getting a lot of heat. Not that they give a shit. I think Wintermute is gonna clear like over $1 billion this cycle anyway, so I think they'll be fine. I think they'll be very fine here. Tyler, what else did you have for us this week?
And we can get into anime.
Oh, yeah.
A few other impacts of that announcement. So we got the anime tokenomics announcement last night. A bit of a surprise. We knew it was coming. We didn't know when. So they basically announced that anime is a culture coin, which means it's not going to be a utility coin, more of like the Pingu style meme coin. I believe 1 billion in supply, 50.5% of the token supply is going to the community. Of that, 37.5% to the Azukis, 13% to community cultivation. Looks like the company's getting 7.4, team and advisors are getting 15.6. And then partner communities are getting 2%. What's interesting about the partners here is that includes hyperliquid stakers, Kaido yappers, Arbitrum communities, and a few other anime communities. This is going to be on Arbitrum and ETH, as I understand it. I don't fully understand exactly what that means. So perhaps we'll learn more as we get a little bit closer. 77% of the tokens are unlocked at launch. The team's tokens effectively have a 1-year cliff and a linear vest from years 1 through 3. And that's a quick rundown of the tokenomics. Of course, the NFTs started running on the back of this. We saw Azuki's get over 14. The Elementals got to 2 ETH or so. They both got hit a little bit in the broader market pullback. So I'll be curious where they go, with the market perhaps stabilizing a little bit. Perhaps once we have the actual timing announcement, there might be another pump there. We will certainly see. But I think it was a good announcement. It was very clean. It was very easy to understand. Okay, the total supply is 10 billion rather. So there is so it's solid. So good unit bias. So it's going to be a decimal in your pump coins. I've already seen folks calling for 1 to 2 billion price targets. That's up there.
I mean, Pengu's at what? I know the market's down, but Pengu's still 2.6 billion.
So that's FTV.
Right? The market cap is 186.
Yeah,
impressive, dude. When the market rallies, this is going to really rally. But anyways, let's go back to anime though. Point being,
I was just going to say price targets. So I was like, what are our price targets? Like, do we feel like it's half a Pingu? And I'm not trying to be like a Pingu maxi or whatnot. I'm just,
I think the conversation Beanie was having on your comments. Remember, I was going back and forth with Beanie last night a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm talking from someone who doesn't really have a skin in the game, right? So a billion is very doable. And a raging bull, like golden bull, like things go up, like Solana's, like ETH, everything's raging higher. Like, of course, you're targeting above 2 billion for sure. I mean, Azuki has like arguably the biggest community in Asia, alongside Penguins. Wow, that's what I was going back and forth with being on timeline last night. Just Penguins seems to have bigger proliferation, but I wouldn't discount what Azuki has built in the East. They have a big treasury, a ton of money. They can pay for a lot of activations, a lot of things. There's a whole hyper liquid thing to it. So yeah.
I think a lot depends on like what is going to come next. So a part of what's happening with Pingu and the Pudgy Penguin NFTs, like, let's just be honest, it's because Abstract is also coming up, right? There's another big thing happening in this ecosystem. What is going to be that for anime and Azuki? So, like, why will folks want to hold on to this more so than just like pure faith? Like, you've got your whales and your maxis who are probably just going to hold, right? But for your marginal buyer, like, why are they going to come in and buy this and want to hold it for an extended period of time? So I think that's always the question with these. I think that is perhaps a little bit of a bigger question right now for anime than it may have been for Pingu. But we know how these things work. If it comes out and it starts doing well, FOMO kicks in and people want to ape. It's certainly one of the top brands. Everyone knows them, is very familiar, established team. So it's going to be big. I think the other thing to unpack here is hype stakers are getting rewarded, and so are the Kaido yappers. And I think those are two things. People, one of the complaints against hype staking is that the APY isn't really that big. It's like 2.5%. But now we've got our first external community doing an airdrop for hype stakers. So I do believe we will see a large influx in hype staking tied to this. We went through this with Tia and Dime a little bit, but I think I wouldn't really compare hype to those. I think it's a bit stronger. The founders, going on about their actual metrics, the income they're generating on a daily and annual basis. So I think hype is pretty strong. And if that ecosystem starts getting targeted for airdrops, I think that's going to be a pretty solid stimulus for them. And then Kaido, which has been increasing their mind share and reach. We saw the NFTs go to 7 ETH. We talked about them on Friday. Now the Kaido yappers, so the people who are kind of on their leaderboard are going to get rewarded with these tokens. It's another good incentive to start using Kaido and paying attention to your yapping, right? And that's a big feedback loop for them. So I think Kaido and Hype are both winners from this. I'd say Kaido more than Hype. Because like Hype's already so big, but Kaido's still a newer product. You know, people are still kind of coming around to it. This was big for them.
Interesting. Yeah, this is good. I like this. I like this approach. I mean, they had bought the ticker anime a while ago. So that's that was interesting to see. Figured it was for them. So love to say, yeah, I have some YAP points. What's up with that? How does this work? Like, am I supposed to?
So I haven't really dug in. I kind of just do my own thing. I just tweet and reply when I feel interested. But I think the way the system works is there are topics, you know, within like crypto Twitter. There are subtopics, and you get points for having conversations regarding those topics.
What?
So there's like if DeFi is trending, and you are a reply guy, or you're posting and replying, you know, within that subsector, you are going to earn more points. Like you don't just get points for having a viral tweet about sports.
Okay, I see. Look at that. I'm sixth with the most amount of smart followers. If you follow me, you're smart, you're genius, you're bold, you're beautiful. See that? That's it based on smart followers. Not bad, right? Look at that. Look at that. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, seventh. Even better. Lucky seventh. Lucky seventh. Seventh is better than sixth. Look at that. Okay, so that's interesting because that's my dashboard, right? I just don't know what to do, what to look at, anything. I just be okay. This is interesting.
I mean, if you want to earn YAP points, you need to engage in conversations on X. So like you probably earn some YAPs. Yeah, you've got some YAPs on there. Also, you probably earned some of that in your conversation with Beanie.
So you gotta go back. Yeah, see, I can only do so much right now, but I would love to go back and forth with MFers on the timeline. Yaps.
The problem is like people who are busy, right? Like you're not gonna spend all day just like arguing and going back and forth on Twitter.
Bro, this is perfect. This is made for Beanie. Beanie is behind Kaido for sure. Beanie loves to go back and forth on the timeline with MFers.
He's a god tier troll. Like people don't know when he's.
The other news, I know you didn't cover it because you couldn't, because it came out during the show, but I think it's pretty big. Tether has announced the entire Tether group is going to be relocating and will now be HQ'd in El Salvador.
Wild.
Tether will relocate to El Salvador after securing DASP license. Wow.
Is Tether pumping on the news? Let's check.
Tether to $5, dude. USDT to $5, baby. Actually,
5x support this year.
Hold on. That is so good.
Then we'll get the USDT NFTs tweeted in a few hours.
USDT NFTs. Yeah, they're dude. Like honestly, El Salvador. This guy's on it, man. Nayib, it's funny. I was talking to a team this morning saying that I really want to do one-on-one with him. Like I would fly down to El Salvador and do a whole thing like we did with Trump, with Nayib Kelly. That would be fire.
I think a lot of people don't know a whole lot about him, especially folks who are like kind of newer or haven't dug as deep. And like they are one of the most profitable businesses in the world. Like per person, arguably like the most profitable.
Yeah, Tether Paolo interview would be insane. Yeah, they are the most profitable business, right? Something like that. It's insane. It's insane that they have all this stuff. All right. Well, look, was there anything that we didn't touch on that's important?
I think we went around the horn pretty well. If you want to end the show on a lighter note, maybe we pull up the Hollow Zone, Andrew Tate. Oh, it might be a little too graphic for the show.
Is it? Is it
there's
like
a lot of names and stuff.
Or is it like N-word type shit, or is it like?
No, just the F word.
That's all right, but I can't find the video.
Let me see if I can find it.
So what? This is what is it, like a AI that just speaks back at you or some shit?
Yeah, so like the Hollow Zone, they're creating these new tech for AI agents, and they've got these hollow versions of.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Let's end the show with this, definitely.
No, it wasn't, but that's pretty based. But I'd like the
I got
hologram.
a clip of it. It was so funny.
What the fuck are you talking about, mate? You're calling me up and you're spewing some fucking nonsense about pre-base and holograms. Get to the fucking point. What do you want to talk about? You want to discuss
The point is, you're the worst person ever, Andrew Tate. You made jokes on the internet. You said women can't drive, and you're a human trafficker. We all know you're a human trafficker, and that's why you're trapped in Romania. I want you to fucking admit it and stop lying to everybody at home.
So that's the real Andrew Tate.
You think you can come at me with that weak shit?
Yeah.
Fuck off, you fucking idiot. I'm a fucking millionaire. I'm a fucking champion kickboxer. I'm a
What's
fucking
the point in being a
entrepreneur, and I'm
millionaire if you're locked in jail for human trafficking? So stop fucking bragging. Admit what you've done. Own up to your crimes, and perhaps you'll be karmically retributed by the universe if you finally admit once and for all that you're a piece of shit human trafficker.
What?
Are you fucking kidding me? You think you can lecture me on morality, you pathetic piece of shit? I'm a fucking visionary. I'm a fucking trailblazer. I'm a fucking master of the universe. You're just a fucking nobody, a fucking insect.
All just
Fucking
to get
speck of
that.
dust.
Wow. God
Like,
damn.
he's like clearly playing into it, but I mean, it's good tech. Like to be able to like live respond like that to like the live. That's more complex than just like a Twitter reply bot. And like we know, like most of these reply bots are just god awful, right? Like the things they say are just cringy or stupid.
Oh my God.
Those are kind of good,
Dude.
market.
That was-
That sent Hollow to 35 million. Like it was a victim of this pullback this morning as well. But look out for those Hollow agents. Maybe I'll get one. I'd love to have Hollow tie.
Yeah. Honestly, why not? Super down for that as well. All right. Well, looks like we went around the horn. Yeah, it could change podcast world. Yeah, I mean, it's true. Like, aside from all the fucking fuck, like shit, like that's crazy stuff. But like, you know, there's definitely more use to that for sure. So there's definitely a lot that we can do with this Hollow stuff. I think it's pretty cool. It would be fun to have, like, imagine you just have like a co-host that just like, I don't know, just like he's just there, like confirm stats. I don't know, like confirms
like Hollow Tie could just read off the news and then I could just
like a
comment.
side gig, you know? Like, hey, Hollow, can you please check on this stat, fact check this that we're talking about? All right. Then it comes back and it's like fact checks and stuff like that. So I don't know. That could be pretty fun. Anyways, look, we went around pretty well. There was one more thing. There was one more thing on the Marriott side. One second. So we got the winners for the raffle, but where are the names? Sims, I have the winners. There's no names next to you guys. The winners. Oh, there is, because we did the red guy raffle, and then we did the little pudgy raffles because those contests are done. Actually, Tyler, for the rect and the pudgy raffle winners.
If you click into them, you can see the winner profiles in there, each person, and that was drawn. So that people are aware that was drawn on chain with Chainlink, so it's verifiable and all provable. But the profiles are in there if you want to click. You got raffle winners knocked down, and then you should have each profile both on Pudgy and on.
Yeah, this right.
Rect.
This shit here.
There you go. You just got. Yeah.
Oh,
So
that
you
was the
got the
first
individuals.
one for rect. So then they win a rect guy each. Holy shit! All right, so this guy here, the Plague PFP. This is your account. I love how you can just see all the predictions and stuff. So fun. Anyways, OX, like, I don't know who this person is. Like, there's no name tied to their account. Make sure you put names and PFPs on your accounts, y'all. It would help a lot.
You'll definitely know the other winner.
So congratulations. You win a red guy. Who else? Oh my God, Griffin.
Come on.
This was it's Griffin's. It's all on-chain raffles. So we run raffles on chain using Chainlink. So they won. Red guys, congratulations. And then for the pudgy winner, so here, see, little pudgy. So let's see who won little pudgy. So Austin from Florida looks like they won a little pudgy.
Yep.
And Baser, congratulations as well. Wow, you've been using the platform. Nice.
He's been grinding.
He's been grinding. So it looks like you won a little pudgy as well. So congratulations. Congrats. Let's see how my predictions are going, Tyler, while we're at it. I'm not looking great here at my Farcoin 2 billion market cap before inauguration.
Ugh.
Yeah, I'm not looking great on that one. I'm looking. Pardon?
It's possible.
I mean, look, anything could happen. Spot listing right before inauguration, reversal.
If we get the dream CPI print,
yeah.
Maybe.
But I did hedge it with the fact that Farcoin will not get any spot listings before the inauguration, and I'm cooking hard on that. So I'm like pretty much making up all the points I'm losing on the other one. And then I lost pretty much on Farcoin 100K holders by inauguration. I mean, 7 more days to rally what? It's almost at zero. It's rally 130,000 holders. 30,000. No, it's 30,000 holders. Man. Yeah, I'll be tough.
Oh, it's only 1,000. Yeah, that's gonna be tricky.
Yeah. I've been cooking on this one, by the way. I keep betting that MicroStrategy week after week. BlackRock buys more Bitcoin than MicroStrategy. And this one's been a good one for me. Because MicroStrategy don't they have a blackout in Jan or some shit? Or like they're running out of cash to buy or they're raising more?
They're supposed to be, but they bought more today.
Like they did, but they buy small now. The amounts get smaller. So I keep taking that one in the markets. And then let's see what other markets we have. Then we'll shut down the show. A lot of markets around. I bought that one with ByteDance and Project Liberty, which is what's this other guy? Kevin O'Leary. Enter negotiations till by Jan 19th. I don't believe so. So there's 6 days left. So I took the no on that. There's a bunch of Champions League ones. There's Elon Musk. How many times he'll tweet before the inauguration is good? Oh, this one I like. Will Mog's market cap be above $1 billion before Trump? Because Mog is the type of coin that reverses really aggressively. And so while the whole market's down now, like you said, we get that CPI, like the Farcoin thesis, right?
Sure.
You get that, but again, it's also a tough one.
50% move in Mog, yeah. I mean, I'm talking for Farcoin, it would be like a 2x. So it's
exactly. So it's tough. So there's a bunch of fun markets in there. Oh, and there is UFC this weekend, I think. So if you guys want to get into these markets, yeah, I can't wait for UFC. It's been a while. So anyways, sign up. Myriad markets. Things are heating up as Abstract is getting closer to launch, and there's a bunch of other stuff on there. All right, look, that's a good roundup. Back tomorrow. Back with the Robot Loot Box spins tomorrow. With that, we'll see you tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for the episode of FOMO Hour on Rug Radio. Let's go.